All right, guys. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down variations. So now that we understand what a concept is, variations are simply the different versions of that one concept. So most beginners, they get confused here because they think every ad needs to be completely different. And that's not how testing works. When we say variations, all we mean is the same concept in different versions. And you're still testing the same type of ad, but you're just changing small pieces inside of it, like the hook, just so that way you can see what Meta thinks of this creative. And once Meta sees that this creative is getting a lot of clicks, it will then start to scale that creative for you. Ideally, you want to do just small changes so that way you can figure out what works. Because if you change a lot of variables in the ad, you won't know what you're testing for. So by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to create clean variations and why we only change one main thing at a time and how this makes your testing process way easier. So remember, variations is just same concept, different versions. Select the highlighter. Probably green is not the best color, but variation equals same concept, different versions. That's it. Just remember that. All right, let's look at some variation examples. So if you look at the concept, this is a product focus ad for all three. One concept. And they have three different hooks. Let's look at the first hook, which is jeans that feel as good as they look. Let's look at the second hook, jeans that actually fit like they should. And 3, jeans that fit better, feel softer, and cost less. Remember, they're just testing 3 different variations of that same concept. So 3 different hooks just to see which one performs best for whatever particular avatar that they're testing or whatever angle they're going after. And once they find that this creative performs the best, it has a high click-through rate, then they can start scaling, let's say, for instance, this creative. And then they can introduce more creatives besides these 2. So you're just testing the hook and the concept. All right, so this is just 3 different variations. Remember, hook is the first step. Then your story, which is right here, and then your offer, which would be somewhere right here. So whenever someone's scrolling in the newsfeed, this is the most important thing right here. Your creative is the most important thing. That is your hook. That is what gets people's attention. All right, so that's the first step. So once you are able to hook people, then they're like, oh, they stop in the newsfeed and they start reading your story. It's right here. And then if the offer is convincing, they will click the shop now and then go to your site and then make a purchase. But at this stage, we're just finding the different variations of that concept to see which variation performs best for whatever angle that you're testing or for whatever sub-avatar. We'll talk about angles, sub-avatars, and desires so that way you know what to craft your ads about, what hooks, what angles, what messaging to use. But in this lesson, I just want to talk about just variations. So that way you know when you're testing the 3-2-2 method, and in the next slide, I think it's talking about the 3-2-2 method. Yep. So the 3-2-2 method is just 3 variations, 2 headlines, and then 2 body text. These are the 3 different variations. So if you're doing product focused ads, you're going to have 3 different variations with 3 different hooks for all 3, similar to this. All right, that's it for variations. Just a short, simple video so that way you understand what variations are. Remember, I want you to understand the foundations of everything first before you start building on those foundations. So go ahead, choose the different variations you want to test for that concept, and I'll see you in the next lesson.